Hello everybody, Dave from Iraqted's back once again. This video is going to kind of touch base with my last video. Just a few corrections. What Pulp Frictions is going to do from here on out for the near future. And my thoughts, okay, on the whole entire aspect of what's going on. Let's first make the corrections. I mispronounced Jared's name. I was saying Garrett. His name is actually Jared. It's just spelled with a G, so it's kind of I just assumed it was Garrett, but I've been corrected, not by him, by other people, and he said he completely understood. I know because my last name is Andrzejewski, and that gets mispronounced probably 99% of the time. Let's go back to the video. First of all, I am absolutely ignorant to exportation and importation laws outside the United States, and I'm not exactly educated on the import-exportation laws in the United States. I have read some stuff, and I've talked to some people, and I have somewhat understanding of what the Lacey Act actually entails. The only part that I don't understand is the state-to-state thing, because the state-to-state thing was amended, but people are telling me that that meant something else, and I don't understand what that something else means. The Lacey Act itself is a United States law that was passed in 1900. Again, we'll go back to the other video. It basically says the United States is going to protect endangered species from coming into the United States, and also any animals that other countries lawfully deem illegal to be exported out of their country. So it's illegal for any citizen in the United States to own anything that another country says is illegal to export out of their borders. I don't think I said that in the last video. So that was corrected. So that part, where does that leave us? Well, I'm not really quite sure yet. We'll get to that. I actually did an outline so I could try to do this within a reasonable amount of time. Actually videoed this once, and it was 14 minutes and 52 seconds long. I went to upload it. It said unsupported file, and I don't know why. Anyway, so what's Pulp Friction doing right now? Pulp Friction is excluding any Brazilian tarantulas from being bought or shipped outside of the border of Michigan, or sorry, Wisconsin. They're from Wisconsin, not Michigan. From Wisconsin. So that means that they will still sell let's say Lasiodora paribana, Nandu chromatus, stuff like that, inside of the state of Wisconsin, but they will not send it outside of that state. You could go to them and probably pick it up, or they will mail them to you inside that state. It's a strategic business move to protect them until stuff is actually clarified for us, because this is all new. Bird Spider CH did a video, I think either today or yesterday, to explain a little bit of this. So I think a lot of this is in response to information that they're getting and advice that they're getting to probably, hey, you know what, let's not send anything from Brazil outside of the state of Wisconsin for right now. Okay, where does that leave us here in the United States? Well, we're not sure. I have no idea. Do I really think that people are going to come knock on my door and take my Brazilian tarantulas away from me? No, I don't. Do I believe that if I start breeding them and selling them all over the United States, they're going to come knocking on my door? That's a good possibility. So that's the part that we need to get clarified. Is the stuff that's already here okay to breed and sell? And I think that the part that Brazil is saying that they don't want to see anything bred and sold because they're not gaining anything from that. Only the people here in the United States that are breeding and selling, only the people in Poland, Denmark, Europe, or not Europe, England, or any place else that's breeding tarantulas over there, they're benefiting from that financially, but Brazil is not benefiting at all. So I think this is maybe Brazil is saying, hey, you know what, U.S., you have a law there. Let's start enacting it. Let's start pushing it, please, because it's your law, you know. So if it's your law, let's start pushing on it a little bit. And I do believe that this is all stemming from the T. celadonius. I don't believe that it's really anything other than the T. celadonius, to be honest with you. Why that is, again, I can only think the money aspect of what it is, and that's really the only driving factor I can think of. So now, let's go back to, I'm going to go back to just everything from here on out is going to be my views and my thoughts of the whole situation right now. I've had a few days to think about this. I was not really online much yesterday. We had a nice family day. We went and saw a ball game. Went and watched my son play a couple softball games. It was a very, very good day. We all had fun. And it kind of stayed offline for the most part. But this is what I thought about last night in the middle of the night when I woke up and was just contemplating things. And I realized that a lot of people are really, really coming down hard on Brazil. And I want to focus on the United States citizens. And again, people are going to be offended by this, and please don't take this the wrong way. But we are a very, very self-entitled country. We believe that we have the right to get anything that we want from anybody that we want in any circumstance that we want, no matter how or what the means of getting it is. And I see this more in work environments, and I see this a lot in the hobby environments. I see people at work that believe that they can do 10% of what everybody else is doing and still get the same amount of things because we're in a union and we're protected by a union. And that's what's going on in this country, and it's very, very selfish. We are a very, very selfish country. We are a very, very selfish people. It doesn't matter what color I am, white, black, Asian American, African American, Native American. It doesn't really make a difference right now. People are selfish, and we forgot that, we belong to nature. Nature does not belong to us. So we really don't have any rights to just take things out of where they live and bring them into our homes. Now, we all do it, whether it's snakes, frogs, newts, fish, spiders, scorpions, the list goes on and on and on. People that keep spiders and guinea pigs and anything that is a wild animal or was a wild animal. Now, a lot of them have been domesticated and sold for years, like guinea pigs have been domesticated for years, sold here as a pet hobby. They're not running around our country anywhere. Now, how does that tie in? Okay, I'll make this point after what I talk about with Brazil. Do I blame Brazil for anything that's going on right now? At first, I kind of like, oh my God, what are they doing? What are they trying to do? Now, I don't. I don't blame them at all. Not one bit do I blame them. These are animals that come from their country. And whether or not they are destroying their rainforest and destroying the habitats of these animals, sure, we would love to preserve that, but it's not our country. We can't do that. And I'll tie this in here in a minute, and hopefully you guys will understand and connect the dots when I do. Do I still believe that this may be some kind of monetary issue with Brazil? I do. I do. I really do. Because, I mean, countries export stuff. Let's just say countries export, like Colombia, they export coffee. Would they be pissed off if some of their people smuggled out some of their beans and we started growing them in the United States and then we weren't buying from them anymore? Absolutely they would. I would. I mean, as a United States citizen, I would. So let's tie this together here. I'm going to use the Aphanopelma johnnycashi. A recently named spider in the last revision. Not a very popular spider because there's not a lot of them there. It's from a very, very small area, just like the T. celadonias are from. Only a couple people here in the United States have breeding pairs of them. Well, let's just say that somebody decided over there in California, we're going to go and collect a whole shit ton of them. We're going to breed the crap out of them, but we're not going to let you guys here in the United States have them. We're going to ship them off to Europe. And then Europe's going to breed them more, and they're going to send them to Brazil. How are we feeling now? A little different, aren't we? I do. When I started thinking about it this way, I did. I felt really different. I mean, sure, we all want beautiful tarantulas, and sure, we thought that what we were doing was right, but in essence, it's not. Is the hobby wrong? No, I don't believe the hobby is wrong, but I do believe if we have a law and it's not being followed, then that law needs to be followed. And how they're going to enact, or not enact, but push that law is I don't know. And we're going to go back because people are going to be shaking their heads right now and say, what the hell is he talking about? They are destroying the forest where these animals come from. Well, you know what? They're destroying the forest where the Poecilotheria metallica come from. They are destroying the forest probably in Sri Lanka where some of the other Poecilotheria come from. We have destroyed a shit ton of stuff here in the United States. When we first settled here as Europeans, and we took this country for our own, away from the Native Americans, we not only destroyed their culture, but we destroyed the whole entire country. We eliminated animals. We took things that had tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands and millions of animals here in the United States and dwindled them down to a small little herd, all because we were selfish and we felt that we were entitled to do whatever we wanted to do. Well, we run into a whole entire herd of buffalo. Well, we're just going to kill them all because we might need them later. Native Americans didn't do that. They killed and they used every single piece of the animal, and they only did it to the ones that they needed to survive. They didn't take more than what they needed. But we did. We not only took their land, we took over the whole entire country. We started eliminating animals. In Pennsylvania, I could just think of two. I'll just go with two. We had the mountain lion, which people still think that there's some down in lower Pennsylvania. I don't believe so. And that's why Penn State's called the Nittany Lions. And then the river otters were all over the Allegheny River. They were gone because people were trapping them and selling their furs. Okay, they've been reintroduced, but we had to reintroduce them, and then we have to make it illegal to kill these animals or trap these animals. Okay? We have to make it illegal for our own people to stop doing it. So why is it wrong that Brazil has a law that's been around since 1988 that says it is illegal to own any animal from our country in any other land? From what I understand, the people of Brazil aren't even allowed to own animals that are endemic to their own country. So why do we believe that we have that right when they don't? I know, because we are entitled. And again, I guarantee you people are going to be pissed off at me. And if you unsubscribe because of this, that's fine. But I think this is a very important message. That what's going on here, whether it's right or wrong, and I hope that no monetary or law kind of issues become of this whole entire import. I hope that in the end it all gets settled and these animals can be sent to the people that actually paid for them. But this is a wake-up call for us, and it's a wake-up call for me. There's a video that's going to be coming out for my tarantula tour that I already filmed it. It's all on Brazilian tarantulas. I'm at the point now where I'm thinking to myself, do I even want to bother? I don't even want to bother with these Brazilian tarantulas anymore. Canthoscurria geniculata, Lasiodora difficilis. The only tarantula that we know for a fact that has been legally imported or exported out of the borders of Brazil is the Lasiodora parahybana, an animal that you can have 2,000 babies right off the bat. Of course it's that one, right? I have 25 species, or 25 tarantulas that are from Brazil. There are a handful of them that are also from other countries. E. campostratus, E. marinus, the avicularia species that I own. There's a couple more that can be found in other countries as well. So I can look at those and say, okay, well, that's fine. Well, my Lasiodora klugi, my Lasiodora difficilis babies, they're all endemic to Brazil. And there's a couple other ones that are endemic to Brazil. I'm at the point now where I'm going to say, you know what? If anybody really wants these that are here in Pennsylvania and they want to trade me for like African species, let's do it. Let's do it. I don't want to deal with this part of the... I don't want it to be a headache and not fun. And I don't think anybody else wants it to be a headache and not fun. And if it gets to the point where we can't own Brazilian tarantulas, well, that's just the way it's going to be. That's the way it has to be. Because that's the way the law is. And we've, as a country, we just sit back and overshadow laws because we don't like them. We don't like the fact that it's illegal to ship tarantulas through the United States Postal Service. But people still do it because it's cheaper. We don't care. Hey, you know what? I'm saving like $30 by only paying $17 to have spiders shipped here in 3 days instead of overnight. That's what we worry about. We always worry about ourselves and ourselves only. We don't worry about everybody as a whole. We're not worried about the hobby as a whole. Most people are worried about how it affects them personally and in their own home. And I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong. So, I hope I didn't piss a lot of people off. I hope that people are sitting back and thinking to themselves, you know what, either he's freaking insane or he actually has a good point here. That maybe, just maybe, we're thinking wrong. And maybe, just maybe, we need to stop being selfish and start thinking about other people and other countries than just what benefits us here in the borders of the United States of America.